Emily's blood ran cold. The chief's warm welcome, the villagers' quiet respect, it all made sense now. They weren't being kind, they were being calculating. "They know, Mama?" she asked, her voice trembling. Mama Ada nodded sadly. "They know. The spirits have told them." Emily felt a wave of nausea wash over her. She couldn't believe it. This idyllic village, this peaceful community, was steeped in a tradition so barbaric, so cruel. She thought of the children she taught, their bright eyes and eager smiles. But I can't just leave," she protested. She thought of the mothers, their faces etched with fear. What about the children? What about justice is not for you to seek here. Eneni, your life is precious. You must leave before it is too late. In fact, you have to leave tonight. She couldn't reconcile the warm, welcoming village she had known with the dark, sinister secret it held. She thought of the chief, his kind face masking a heart bound by ancient, unyielding tradition. The bus, usually a lifeline to the outside world, had broken down. Engine trouble, the driver grumbled, kicking the tire with frustration. "Won't be fixed till tomorrow." Emily's heart pounded. Tomorrow would be too late. "You have to leave tonight." Mama Ada, her face etched with worrying, had given her a small pouch of dried cola nuts and a worn machete. "The old path," she whispered, pointing towards the dense forest that bordered the village. "It leads to the next town, but it's dangerous. Only the hunters use it now." As twilight deepened, Em slipped out of her hut. Her casual wear was replaced with the dark, worn clothes Mama Ada had given her. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the incessant chirping of crickets. The village was eerily quiet, the silence punctuated by the distant drumming that echoed from the chief's compound, the drums of the morning ritual. The forest loomed before her, a dark, impenetrable wall. Emily took a deep breath and stepped into the shadows. The path was barely visible, a narrow track winding through the dense undergrowth. Thorny bushes snagged at her clothes, and the ground was uneven, treacherous. The sounds of the forest, the rustling of leaves, the hooting of owls, the unseen movements of creatures amplified her fear. She pressed on, her heart pounding in her chest, the machete clutched tightly in her hand. The drumming grew louder, a relentless rhythm that seemed to chase her through the darkness. She imagined the villagers, their faces grim, searching for her. Suddenly, she heard a rustling sound behind her. She froze, her breath catching in her throat. A pair of glowing eyes appeared in the darkness, and a low growl rumbled through the air. A large bush pig, its tusks gleaming in the moonlight, stood blocking her path. Emily's fear turned to panic. She raised the machete, her hand trembling. The bush pig charged, and she instinctively swung the blade, the sharp edge connecting with its flank. The animal squealed in pain and retreated into the shadows. She didn't stop to catch her breath. She ran, her feet flying over the uneven ground, the drumming pounding in her ears. She stumbled and fell, her hands scraping against the rough earth. She scrambled to her feet, her body aching, her clothes torn as she ran. She noticed a faint light flickering, but the drumming was getting closer, and she knew she had no choice. As she rose, she saw a figure standing in the shadows. It was Mama Ada, her face illuminated by the flickering firelight. "They are coming," she whispered, her voice urgent. "You must go now. The spirits have shown me a way." She led Emily to a hidden path, a narrow tunnel that snaked through the roots of a giant iroko tree. "This path leads to the river," she said. "A fisherman will take you to the next town." Emily hugged Mama Ada, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Mama," she whispered. "Thank you for everything." She slipped into the tunnel, the darkness swallowing her whole. The drumming echoed through the forest, a relentless reminder of the danger she had escaped. The tunnel opened onto the banks of a wide, dark river. A small canoe was moored to a tree, and a figure stood silhouetted against the moonlit water. It was the fisherman, his face etched with worrying. "Get in quickly," he said, his voice low. "They are searching for you." Emily climbed into the canoe, her body trembling with exhaustion and fear. As the canoe glided down the river, she looked back at the forest, the dark, impenetrable wall that held the village of Umuofia. She knew she would never forget the fear, the danger, and the kindness of Mama Ada. She had escaped with her life, but a part of her remained trapped in the heart of the forest, a silent witness to the ancient, terrifying traditions of Umuofia. The river carried her away from the village, but the memory of the sacrifice and the kindness of the elder woman would stay with her forever.